we kick off the new year, many of us are setting our goals and putting important plans in place for our family. And one thing that often gets overlooked is preparedness. And that's where the Masonic Child ID program comes in.
It is a simple, free service that provides parents and guardians with critical information they hope that they're never going to need, but will be grateful to have in the case of an emergency.
Now, the start of the year is the perfect time to be proactive about safety. And today we are learning why this program is such an important resource for families and communities. And joining us to talk about this program is Tim Conard, a Freemason and cybersecurity expert. Tim, thank you for being with us.
Pleasure to be here.
So what exactly is the Masonic Child ID program?
Well, the Masonic Child ID program is a program supported by law enforcement that helps parents provide a special degree of preparation so that when the worst happens, parents are prepared. Because when something does happen, when your child does go missing, you're not going to be thinking right. You're not going to be having everything ready in your head. And that's what the program helps parents to do.
This is great. Better safe than sorry kind of thing, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I can only imagine, like you said, if your kid goes missing, the brain is not attached to your body at that moment. So just to kind of think ahead, it's better to be proactive than reactive, I think, in this situation, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because seconds matter. When that fear and panic set in, you have to be prepared. And in Michigan, we utilize the FBI's Child ID app, which is available on both iPhone and Android. Now, this app is absolutely free and does not share information with anyone, including the FBI or Michigan Freemasons. It's only shared with who the parent chooses to share that information with. And typically, that's going to be with law enforcement when something critical happens.
Interesting. And that's so important too, because, you know, with apps these days, you don't know who's getting what information. So that is crucial. So explain to us, how does it specifically benefit children, parents, and guardians when you get this done?
Well, when you have all this information consolidated into one place, as I said, seconds matter. And when your child goes missing, you have one package that you're able to deliver directly to law enforcement. Now, typically within about 45 minutes, this information becomes nationwide on the Amber Alert system. And what the Amber Alert system basically does is it makes the entire public your eyes and ears, looking out for that child, trying to find out where are they, what has happened, and bringing every force to bear that can be brought to help rescue or recover that child.
Yeah, and like you said, in a situation where even seconds matter, it's important to have everything ready to go. So let's talk about this. How does the Masonic Child ID program work, and what kind of information is collected, and then what happens to the information collected by the volunteers?
Okay, well, first of all, no information is retained by the Masons at all. Nothing. It's not ours to keep. And all that information, basically, there's different events that get put on. You can go to the website and find out when the next events are, or even request to help host an event. That way, you can bring in all sorts of parents, or your school, your church, whatever you want to be able to do to bring everybody together and get all that done.
Interesting. Okay, so talk to us about how this works with the National Amber Alert system. I know we've probably all been there, sleeping in the middle of the night, and then that Amber Alert goes off, which is really so helpful to get these children found. But how does it work with that?
Well, the information just goes directly to law enforcement, and law enforcement is the ones that actually interact with the Amber Alert system itself. That's how that's done, but you're able to have a consolidated package of information to be able to hand off to them. Now, some of the information that you'll collect is the height, the weight, digital pictures, fingerprints, all sorts, hair color, all sorts of different things that occur. And one of the things that we recommend is on a regular basis, whether you tie it to paying your mortgage or rent each month, or whatever kind of thing that you're going to do on a regular basis, you want to tie to updating all those pictures, updating the information, because the children change so quickly. And, today, maybe they had blonde hair last week or black hair, but this week it's purple. And you just never know. And what you want to be able to do is have that most updated information. And if you tie it to something you already do every month, so you can keep that updated, it's going to help that much more.
Oh, absolutely. I have a 2-year-old son, and my husband and I were laughing 6 months ago. We were looking at a picture from 6 months ago, and we're like, this looks like a different kid.
Yeah.
So updating that's such important information to keep the pictures relevant.
Yes, and tie it to something you already do. Because
Make it
otherwise, it's going to end up like every other little task you've thought about and you keep putting off. And do you want to look back later and realize that you hadn't updated it in 6-8 months and your child has changed so much, but you really need that information now to be able to get to law enforcement? So that's why you should really tie it to something that you always do.
I think because it's just as important, if not more important, than all of those other tasks that you listed off. So this needs to be a priority as well. Now, who is eligible for this service, and is there a cost associated with getting this done?
Basically, from birth to 18, you're eligible for the service, and it's absolutely free. All you have to do is find out where an event is, attend the event, and you'll be able to go through the process, get your package put together, and you'll have that protection. Now, one of the things that's not as publicized, but one of the things that people need to think about as well is our senior community. Those that are, maybe have dementia or, have issues with going walkabout and never coming back, things like that. You can also apply this app to your seniors as well, so that if grandma or grandpa take off and go for a walk and nobody knows where they're at, you have that information as well.
Absolutely. Tim, what led to your interest and involvement in the Masonic Child ID program?
Well, I've always been a protector. I'm a United States Marine. I do cybersecurity professionally, helping protect companies. Children are innocent, and to me, it's the duty of the strong to protect the weak. And that is why I've always been very adamant about helping children. And when I first found out about this program within Freemasonry, that was just something that it was a natural for me to want to be involved with. And, one of the big things that I like to do is just to spread the word about it so that parents have the opportunity to protect their children and be prepared.
It's all about being prepared and equipped to handle these situations that we hope no one ever finds themselves in. Now, how can viewers learn about upcoming child ID events in their area or schedule an event like you mentioned?
Well, you can go to michiganmasons.org and look up the Michigan Child ID program. And right on that page, there's a contact information for who to contact and more information about the program and what events are upcoming.
That's awesome, Tim.
Tim, we mentioned at the start of the show that this is a service that we hope we never have to use. But being prepared, that is the best thing. Is there any stories that you can think of that come to mind where a family was prepared and then a child was lost and they were able to use your services?
Well, we don't typically get into the specifics of any one particular
Case.
event,
Okay.
because not all of them, if a child is abducted, typically something very negative has occurred. And so that's part of the reason why we don't typically get into any of the specific stories. But also, that's not something that we're really privy to as far as the real details of things, because our job is to simply help parents be prepared.
Right.
Just get it all in one place.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what's the one message, Tim, that you want to drive home to parents that they might be overlooking while they're going through the day-to-days of the grocery shopping and the activities and the laundry and the cooking dinner? What's the one message you really want to get across to them about how important this kind of program is?
Number one, I would say, to be prepared, but if you really want to shock your system, imagine that your child just went missing. And we're not talking about just strolled away. Child abduction is a very serious thing in the United States, and horrible, absolutely disgusting things happen to children. Shock your system. Think about what you would be feeling like if something like that happened to your child and you would put it off. You weren't prepared. And because seconds matter, maybe it's 4 or 5 hours before you got law enforcement all the information instead of a few moments. So absolutely be prepared.
I love it, Tim. That's really good. Parents need to be scared straight as well. Thank you so much for joining us for Live in the D+. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you much for everything.
Absolutely.